This is the plaintiff, Shantice Wilkinson. She says she rented an apartment from the defendant, never moved a stick of furniture in the place, and is now having a heck of a time getting her security and first month's rent back. The woman is claiming she damaged the place and is saying she has a legal right to keep her money, but she feels differently and thinks the judge will agree. She's suing for $850, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Diana Coulter. She says the woman gave her money for the apartment, then the very next day told her she had changed her mind and didn't want the place after all. She was already spackling and painting the place, for crying out loud. She felt sick to her stomach about the whole thing, but knows she has a right to keep the plaintiff's money while she tries to re-rent the place. She's accused of landlording to the letter of the law.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff rented an apartment from the defendant, but changed her mind. She wants her security deposit back, but the defendant says she was getting the place ready for the plaintiff after the plaintiff signed the lease. So tough. It's the case of you have a right to change your mind at a price.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shantice Wilkinson.
Yes.
You are suing Diana Coulter, your almost landlord, for $850 that you paid for an apartment that you ended up not taking. Tell me what happened.
My grandparents, they're selling their house. So I'm in college, I'm in my last year, and I wanted to get a head start on looking for places to live. So I went onto Craigslist and I found her ad, Diana's ad here, for $500 a month for a room and share house. Mm-hmm. She also said that if I take the room, depending on which week in the month I take the room, the ad went up on the 2nd, I saw it on the 3rd, that I would only pay $350, and depending on which week, she would knock down $100 from the $500 so that I can, move in and pay a fair amount. I saw the place with my friend Richie here. I liked it. We liked it. So I went to the bank.
Was Richie going to live there too?
No. He was just there, for moral support. I went to the bank, got the money, and we came back. When we went to see the place, there were 2 rooms available. She told me about the second room. It was a lot smaller, but she let me know, if you move into the second room, I only charge you an extra $100. So that would be $600 for the month and $350 for security.
2 bedrooms?
Yeah, it was. It's very small. It was
is this a house?
It's a 3-bedroom house. I was renting 2 of the bedrooms for $500 each.
Okay, time's tough.
Very tough, yes.
So if you were renting them for $500 each, why were you going to let her have one for $100?
Because she told me she was a student and she needed a place to study. I thought, out of the kindness of my heart, out of the kindness of my heart, I said, you know what?
Kindness of your heart?
Yeah.
I thought you were falling on tough times and needed help.
I was, but I wasn't trying to get rich. I was just trying to pay my bills. And she needed a place to study.
In any event, you agree, and what happened?
You
actually signed something?
Yes, I have it here.
Oh, let's see what you signed.
I paid her, originally it was going to be $600.
I received $850 from Shantice. This is your handwriting,
yes.
Right? Shantice Wilkinson on this day, and she will be renting on a month-to-month basis at the cost of $630. Everything included to be paid by the 3rd of every month. And both of you sign it, correct?
Yes.
All right, and then what happens?
So she changes her mind the day after, she says, and she says, look, no harm, no foul. Does she have a case here?
I think she should have thought about it before she did it.
So tough luck for her.
Tough luck.
What do you think?
Tough luck. You should have thought before you gave out that money.
Okay, and you haven't spoken.
Well, maybe she should have changed her mind maybe before she signed the contract.
Well, then, that's right. And then she wouldn't have a contract.
Exactly.
Oh, steel trap going inside the courtroom.
We left. She told me that she had to run out to work. So me and Richie left. We get back to my house, my mom's house, and my transmission starts, we're in drive and it's going in reverse. My car. So we're like, okay, maybe something's wrong with the car. So we keep starting the car and it's in neutral and we're in drive. So we bring it to my mechanic. My mechanic's like, your transmission's gone. He was like, it's gone. If you repair it, it'll be like $900 to $1,000. He was like, you're probably better off just getting another car. So that very next morning, between 7 and 8, I called her and we spoke about I actually have the phone records here, us speaking that morning. And I told her, look, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to move in. You know, my car gets me back and forth.
And so you want all your money back?
Yeah, I called her.
You want there to be zero consequence to signing that contract?
I did not move a thing in.
I know.
to
So
her
there's zero
apartment.
consequence for you to signing the contract.
Yes.
And your position is?
My position is when she called me, well, first of all, she was adamant. She liked the place. She was taking the place. She actually left her best friend, Richie, with me while she went to the bank with her sister, I believe. He sat there an hour and waited to make sure I didn't rent the place. That's how much they
Were you
wanted. She was
showing it?
very
It doesn't
happy.
matter. Were you showing it to other people?
I was showing it to other people at that point, but I took it off Craigslist after we signed the contract. I gave her the key. She said she would be moving stuff in. I said, that's fine. You live here now. You paid your rent. Here's your key. We are now roommates. I went to work the next morning. She gave me a call and told me that, by the way, I won't be moving in. I'm like,
okay. But so what
do?
did you say to her at that point?
I said, there's nothing what do you mean? I was
okay, but she
flabbergasted.
paid you 1 month's rent and 1 month's security deposit.
Half a month's security deposit.
Okay, half a month's
Right.
security. So on what basis are you keeping the security deposit?
We have a contract.
No. Okay.
Oh, no, the security, no. I offered to pay. I said, well, what happened was I paid the rent. So I said, I will give you $250 back now. I had that on me. And I'll give you the rest next
That's
week.
a lie.
She
Hold
was
on.
adamant. She was adamant that she wanted everything in full. She did not want to be paid back in bits and pieces. And I said, that's the best I can do. I can't give you what I don't have. That's when she put somebody else on the phone. I believe it was her aunt, who's a paralegal. And they started threatening me. At that point, I said, you know what? She mentioned that she had the key. She put somebody else on the phone. She was not willing to work it out. I wanted to work it out. She became adamant. She actually sent me an email also saying that she wanted it all in full. And if anything else,
Let me see the
payment
email.
in full was unacceptable. And that's when I said, you know what? We have a contract. And now we're just going to stick to the contract.
Let me see the email.
I have the email.
Once she wasn't willing to work with me, that's when I said, you know what, forget it. We have a contract. Let's stick to the contract.
Okay, let me explain something to you folks. Let me explain to you how it works, okay? First of all, when you sign a contract, there are consequences, even if your car breaks down. You don't get to change your mind. And it doesn't matter if you haven't moved your first sneaker there. It just doesn't matter. You signed a contract that was, she's taking the apart. Otherwise, she stops showing the thing to people. She takes it off of Craigslist. She can't rent it out. And then you just get to change your mind and it costs her rent for that month because after that time, it's rented. All right, so there is a consequence to signing that contract. That's the consequence a month. However, the idea behind a security deposit is to protect you against damages. This is a month-to-month contract. She told you right away that she was not taking it, so she didn't even move in. So what premise do you have to keep the security deposit? I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff in this case, the amount of the security deposit, which is $350. As to the rest of it, that does belong to her. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
So here's the deal. When the tenant breaches the contract, the only right the landlord has is to be made whole. The fact is, she only signed a 1-month lease, so we can only keep 1 month's worth of rent, which is why you get your security back if she's already paid the 1 month rent in advance. The security needs to go back because the fact is, that means the landlord is made whole.